Chris Mitchell is on assignment in Washington, D.C. He sat down on the set of CBN's program Faith Nation with hosts John Jessup and Jena Browder. They talked about their new program and how the Trump administration has changed U.S. policies toward Israel and the Middle East.
John Jessup, Jena Browder, great to be with you here on the Faith Nation set. And tell us about, for the people that watch Jerusalem Dateline, tell us what Faith Nation is and where they can watch it.
Yeah, so Faith Nation is a show that we do Monday through Friday, 30-minute newscast, and it really kind of crosses faith and politics. It's the intersection of those two things. So here in Washington, especially right now, CBN News has just tremendous access to this administration and to so many lawmakers and different people. So we thought it would be a timely, it would be a great time to do this news program and be hopefully what we strive to be is a voice of truth and in a sea of a lot of chaos.
Yeah, and what I really love about our show is we just have so many people who contribute to what we do in the newsroom, and we have so much talent, and as Jena was saying, more access than we've had in the past. So we're able to utilize all these voices, all these different talents, whether it's Abigail Robertson on Capitol Hill or Ben Kennedy at the White House, of course David Brody, our chief political analyst, Jennifer Wishon. We just have a vast team, and we're able to showcase that a lot more than we are sometimes with our programming that's a little more limited because of time with the 700 Club and other platforms. In some ways, it's a rallying call or a clarion call to those who are people of faith to watch the show so that we can inform them on matters that are important to them, to their religious liberties, to social issues, or to legislation. It's kind of a rallying call or a rallying cry to say, listen, this matters and this is important for your faith.
Yeah, would you say, Jena, at this time, there seems to be so much in the news about faith, either attacks against Christians, persecuted Christians, but here in the United States as well, religious freedom seems to be under assault. So the show seems to be very timely.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see the President Trump, standing strong for religious freedom in so many ways. This morning he was at the National Prayer Breakfast, gave a very riveting speech, and he mentioned, of course, religious freedom, and Pastor Andrew Brunson, who was just released from Turkish prison after 2 years there. So this president, he is really shining a spotlight on that, and we also that's our audience has a big interest in religious liberty. It's very important to Christians and people of all faith. You know, it really is true. There can be no religious freedom if that religious freedom is not for all people. So we try to cover that. It's an important issue along with so many others for our audience.
Yeah, you've both been here for a number of years. Have you seen a change, talking about Jerusalem Dateline and the Middle East, a change in policy towards Israel, towards persecuted Christians in the Middle East and the Middle East in general in the last 2 years? Certainly.
I think there's been a significant change. You know, as Jena was talking, you know, President Obama was an avowed Christian, but a lot of Christians questioned how he lived his faith because he didn't push Christian values and Christian concerns to the fore of his administration. It was always other groups. And you see with President Trump how he has embraced evangelicals and the evangelical cause. Even in his speech, he started at the National Prayer Breakfast by saying, I always will deliver for you. I will always have your back. So we've seen a huge sea change. And I think he's redirected the focus towards issues that are very important to evangelicals, to Christians, one of which has to do with Israel. The policy has changed drastically, and I think he's brought it to the fore, again, with the big move to the embassy in Jerusalem.
That's right. We were there. In fact,
you were there along, and you got to cover that with the administration officials who were there, Jared and Ivanka, representing the president. So it's just really brought, again, something very different than what we've seen in the last. I've been here for 15 years and I've seen nothing like it, so it's been tremendous to watch.
We see that, you know, standing up for persecuted Christians in the Middle East. One of the first interviews the president made was with David Brody, and he asked him that question about persecuted Christians, said he would stand with them. So there is a huge change. And thank you that you, Jena and John, are covering it here from Washington, and so people can watch you on the CBN News channel, Faith Nation, 5 days a week, as well as Jerusalem Dateline. So it's great to be with you here in Washington, and you got to come over to Jerusalem next
we'd
time,
love
okay?
that.